right, what's going on? What's going on? Greg said it live. Okay, let me give you some little light. Little light. It's kind of muggy out here, but the spring is here, y'all. It's not just spring ball, but the spring is right around the corner. Literally, the first day, what is it? Daylight savings. They saving daylight, y'all. I always wondered, especially as I got older, like how do you flip the clock back and forth, back and forth? But we back, y'all. The days are getting back longer. I mean, they've been getting longer, but now we just got a little extra help. So lost an hour of sleep, gained an hour. You know, been stopped getting dark at like 5, 6 o'clock. Now it's like, gonna be getting dark about, I don't know, 7, 8, somewhere around in there. And the day just get longer and longer from there. And then, by, I don't know, July, maybe late June, they start getting in at like almost 9 o'clock. And we've been used to this mess. And you be out all night. Oh, sure, I gotta get up in the morning. It's 9 o'clock. Look like it's 4 o'clock out here. It just get dark at the last minute and it be 9 o'clock. So it's like, that's good for football, I guess. What's going on, PC40? And it's give you a little more time in your day, especially days like this. But I always love the short days during football season. Football season on, that's the only benefit because you get to play the night games. I know Colorado don't like the night games, but when I grew up, I like the night games. I like when the weather started to cool off, and you get on the bus and get off the bus. That the game is already dark. I just like that for football season, and days are shorter. But y'all, I kind of wanted to talk about what y'all feel about the whole spring first week, Colorado's first week of spring. Well off and reach the people and pregame, they all done a good job. But as I said before, and I think it's confirmed at this point, I certainly believe, and rightfully so, they're not going to show us everything. They're just not going to do it. And I feel like it's a good thing that they don't, especially implementing new defensive schemes and new offensive schemes. You can't hide everything, but they're doing a good job, I believe, because it's snippets of a whole practice, and they show a combination of stuff on the field, combination of stuff off the field, like normal. But I think at the end of the day, I think we get a good idea of what we're working with because we don't see what it takes to lose very well. We don't felt the energy, we don't see the tone and the mood, and even the comments that let you know, oh, it's not going good. We know what that looks like. And one thing for sure, I think Coach Prime has a pep in his step just off of he got to win and he's a competitor. But I also think he's inspired by what he see. I mean, he's not a person that's gonna lie because I've seen in the past, like even last year, he was saying certain things, even going to that Georgia Tech game, complaining, and I was like, he just being honest, or that's a good sign because usually when he complained about running to the ball, being disciplined, and all that, when he making a lot of comments, got them lists where you got everybody on these lists, and that's his own in-house thing, but typically it ain't worked out when he had those issues. I'm just gonna tell you that. Y'all go ahead and get them lights up while you're in here. And we do got subscribers on the chat. So jump in that chat, but subscribe, get in there within a minute or so. But go ahead and get in that chat. It's just you here. And you definitely should be subscribed. And if you come on, catch the replay, go ahead and jump in these comments because we'll have a little conversation here. I have to take my time because I have a lot. I'm the person who, and I think when it went 9-3, I was very bold out front, and it worked. I wanted to be out front last year, but I just kind of felt like I can't see what you got really. I can't really see. You got a new quarterback. Then they had the quarterback situation. You couldn't really tell what. So I really couldn't really. But I did feel like if they had a built like this offense right here, Salter would have been. I'm not saying he would have been a prolific passer, but his running ability and his ability to do, run pass option, stuff like that, his ability to work that type of offense, because that's where he really came from. It wasn't go-go, but it was a lot of that. I think they screwed him. I think he was a year behind. I'm not saying would it really, really helped them because they say this offense don't help you as a pro, but he would have been successful in this offense. I just believe that. I don't think he's a great passer, but I think he's good enough where his legs would have opened up a lot of things, like he tried to do in the plain Jane offense. And I kind of feel bad for him because this really was his offense right here. Like out of all the quarterbacks, this was Salter's offense. Who agree with that? D Brooks, like the energy as a team and stuff. Yeah, man. I mean, it's fresh. Nobody's coming in with that weight. I mean, we cried about the people they lost, but I mean, it would almost been impossible to do with a lot of the dead weight. Like they lost all these starters, all the offensive line starters, all the defensive line starters. And you said, oh, that's bad. I'm really secondary. Starters gone. It's a couple receivers, but they gone. The big boys gone. Amari Miller gone. Draylon, he gone. Draylon been playing since a freshman. And so when you want to do something fresh, unfortunately, you got to do something fresh. And fortunate but unfortunate, because when you think about it, nobody needs to come in talking about what worked that didn't work. Like, oh, we used to do this, man. Y'all used to do this and y'all lost. Nobody got to hear that. So that's the good and the bad. The bad is everybody knew. You don't know them and it's unpredictable and all that. But the good is you ain't got to deal with the mess that made you lose. You ain't got to hear it. They gone. I mean, you're going to have a whole new offensive line. You ain't dealing with last year line, other year before. You got some people coming back, but they ain't got to start. They ain't got to play. What's going on still? What's going on, chat? I know anybody in the chat subscribers. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. You know, it's free of charge. If y'all want to throw with a super chat, all that, that's all well. It's acceptable as well. But when I look at this team, just how they put it together, the best part and the worst part about this offseason was they had so many slots to fill. The best part about that is you really can pick. Like he said, I can pick who I want right now. Basically, I know what this man, Coach Prime, they say he don't have experience. That's true. Every year is more experience for him. So when he sat up there and he lost last year, he lost the first year and he lost last year. Every year is new data for him. Every year is, he can learn from his mistakes and and the recruiting team can learn and he know what type of players he need. He's learning college ball. He did a few years at Jackson. He's done a few years now. It's true he don't have a lot of experience. So every day that he steps in here, he gets new data. You see, he said, oh, we got college coaches. Yeah, did it. What you think? He made adjustment. You claim he wouldn't. He did. He made adjustments and got the type of staff that he know we can do some college ball. He adjusted. That's what he should do. So he went and got Marion, and then it worked out that he got Marr, and that worked out because he got NFL Livingston out of here. Livingston wasn't a college guy. How you coach the guys is different. The schemes and your whole approach is different. For example, the go-go approach is designed to take advantage of the immaturity, the lack of wisdom and understanding of a college student. That's why he said it's junk work in college, but not in the pros. Probably so. Even though discipline is discipline and you got to always sharpen up on your fundamentals. But when you look at that, kids coming out of high school, they still learning the game. They're not high IQ guys. There's very few of them, and they usually stand out. So you get to kind of play with that when you playing with this go-go, and that's why the wing tee and all that stuff, even back in the day, the wishbone, all that stuff used to tear people up because all it takes is one person to get out of place, confusion, frustration to kick in, and even the smallest team or even the most untalented team will beat the mess out of you. In the city can have all the track stars, and then you go play one of these little private schools with a bunch of guys, they all underweight on the line, they beat the mess out of you. And they go to they go to the playoff or they go to the championship. And you see that a lot of times you look at high school football. Scheme plays a lot. It has a lot to do with that because if the people don't really coach their players and they live off of raw athleticism, they're gonna get beat. And that's what happened to a lot of my people coming from in the city. You got all these athletes, but they don't play as a team. And the coaches don't coach fundamentals. You just athletic. You just gonna let that one guy ain't gonna be able to beat that team because that team scheme ain't gonna allow it. Or that one team that that one guy on the defensive side of the ball is not gonna be able to shut it down because they're gonna exploit all 11 players. They're gonna exploit them. They're gonna exploit your linemen, your linebackers. You got, and it's hard to teach linebackers. You really got a good coach in that level, and that's high school level and even college, because most people playing out of position in high school. Like a lot of times, the guys who really gonna be linebackers, they on the line. Especially, you at the school now. These days, these boys, they got a 10, 15 guys going D1 and all that. And they usually be the top in the country, top in the state. And those schools. We know them. We got the Bufords and the Carrolltons. We had that in Georgia, right? Gainesville, where Coach Nibley just came from. These schools are known for having these bigger size guys. But when you go to the average school, the average, especially innocent school, the guy is usually gonna be out of position. You got guys playing tackle and coming off the end, or they call it edge. You got all these guys. They probably be really linebackers. They probably should be linebackers, but they got to play where their team need them. They probably are linebackers, and they probably handle them because then they got to go to college. And here we go, what I'm saying. They got to go to college, and then they got to learn how to play linebacker because they was out of position in high school. They was playing nose guard and stuff like that. And because they was an athlete and they was just, imposing, you can get away with that mess. A guy 230 pounds, you can get on the D line and whoop a lineman in high school because he's just way more athletic. He probably stronger, but you ain't finna go whoop no real lineman who really that size and he just athletic as you, but he also 280 in high school, 290, 300. You're not gonna do that, and that's usually what they run into, and that's why them kind of teams can't win the state because they're gonna go up against teams who really got guys playing in their position, who really develop, and it's almost like college, and they gonna whoop your team, and your athletic guy who can dominate that one or two guys is not gonna work. And that's not even just scheme; that's just personnel. So again, these guys are out of position. They don't get a chance to really play. What's going on, Sabrina? They don't really get a chance to play their actual position, and that becomes a problem. And development wise, you go to the next level, and so that's why stuff like the go-go will work because this guy, yeah, he really just learned how to play the position. He didn't play that position in high school. Or if he did play in high school, he didn't have the coaching. He just was athletic and raw talent and just, had an eye for the ball, nose for the ball. Or he was in high school. It's kind of like what I did. And I think the boy Crawford, they got this year linebacker. I think he was like, it was him or somebody else they would recruit. He was like, man, I played like 5 positions in the state championship game. You got guys like that who they played high school and they played linebacker and they played DN and they played safety and cornerback and got on the line, and it's like they just whatever their team needed, they was able to do it, and they exceeded. And so that's what you deal with. Why a lot of these guys and still can get tricked because some guys even be like, I ain't play football until my junior and senior year. They just big guys, big athletic guys. They play basketball. Especially a lot of these guys go play tight end, but a lot of them end up being D linemen. They end up being edge rushers or something like that. The point is, because a lot of guys can get away with certain stuff, they may not have coaching, or they just may be out of position. All these things I listed, they usually gotta get developed in college. The problem is you go to a college and how Colorado been playing it, you got NFL guys or guys who it's almost like the NFL style of coaching is the assumption that you already got the fundamentals down and I'm just gonna tweak it or I'm just gonna put you in position to make plays. And if you assume, and that's never a good thing to do, especially as a teacher in anything. That's where you got Wooden, Coach Wooden back in the day. Was known for the greatest basketball player of all time. He say, we're gonna go all the way down to how you put your socks on shoestring day when we ain't even picking up a ball. I'm gonna teach you everything. I'm not gonna assume you know nothing. That's what greats do. And a lot of NFL coaches lack that. They may even lack patience, but they lack the ability to understand the fundamentals because they ain't teaching no fundamentals in the NFL. You don't play high school, college, little league, middle. I'm not teaching no fundamentals. You shouldn't even got here if you don't have the fundamentals, but that's not the case. Sometimes people just big. Sometimes people just fast, and they just can get away with stuff, and they don't reach their full potential because they don't get that training, because they don't have to get that training, and that's why a lot of guys who like dominant in college, they don't do well in the NFL. They don't do well in the NFL. They get into the NFL and they become just an average guy. All this stuff I'm explaining, this that deeper side. I don't always get deeper, and especially with stats and stuff. But we talk football, but a lot of people get on this internet, they don't understand that. They don't understand the nuances of why stuff work and why stuff won't. So when I take my analysis of why Colorado will win, I look at that type of stuff. So when you come here, that's what you get. Just because you knew or whatever. I get a lot of new people. And they don't all subscribe, but you should. Because I think sometimes we have assumptions of why things happen that's not necessarily true. We assume coaches do certain things, understand certain things, but depending on their background, it can have an impact on how they go about coaching. So yes, that NFL coach could very easily not watch certain details that a college coach would. A college coach knows, man, I'm getting some high school kids I've been dealing with for 15, 20 years, and I know their weaknesses. By day one, we going over this like Coach Wooden. We going all the way back to the beginning. I'm treat like a baby. I treat like a baby because I'm not even gonna assume. You may know, but I'm not even gonna assume. I ain't gonna play with it. I'm gonna put everybody on my system, on my standard. What's going on, John? What's going on, everybody in the chat? I know everybody in the chat subscribers. Make sure you subscribe. You can jump in that chat because I'm gonna go ask some questions real soon because I'm just giving y'all analysis of how I think about this thing and how I look at it. And I look at it a certain way on how I can predict what team is going to do well. And yeah, you can look at stats, you can look at this. I'm not getting to that. I'm just saying in this early stage, how can I make the comments I make? And how could I say, okay, they're going to be better than last year, or even get into almost specifics like, all right, they should win at least this many games, or this, da, da, da. These are the strengths, these are the weaknesses. Just having a coach Marion is a significant advantage for everything I just said. But it's also a significant advantage because it also, one, it helps Colorado cover up a lot of the weaknesses that they had. Okay. You not always had the biggest line. You ain't finna go man for man, pound for pound. These blitz packages coming at you. Yeah, they ain't picking up the blocks. You send back catching people, and they're taking advantage of your weak scheme. They taking advantage of your ignorance, and they doggone sacking the mess out of your quarterback because all y'all doing is dropping back 70, 80% of the time. And you just ain't built like that. You ain't got that guy on the line who can manhandle somebody like that. And they may have it on their side, and he wreck your man like Nebraska did a couple years ago, and certain teams just wreck your defensive line, your offensive line, because you're not built like that. And then you're very predictable. Your playbook is very thin, and you're not dominant like that. Your players are not dominant like that. So now you're in a situation where you putting your team in a losing situation, basically, and you making them have to do things that they wouldn't have to do. It's almost like a pro-ish mindset. That's how you know the pro coordinator is my man against your man. We doing it equal. No, you're not. You don't have those type of players. And if you did, you're not helping them. You're not helping the Jordan Seaton by having him drop back all the time. Now he look average. He look average in numbers or whatever, but he don't look like he can just maul people like he should. You're not giving him the confidence, the momentum, and the unpredictability. Because the guy know every time he can line up, he's stepping back. I can just run through him, put moves on him. I ain't never got to worry about him coming to get me. He's never in a situation where he got to figure that out. Your guy has no longer the advantage. The thing about being on the offense, the advantage is supposed to be, I know the play, you don't. That's not necessarily true when you got these offenses where everything predictable. The formation is what it is, no motion, everything's simple. They know the play just like your line do. And you know the count. You're not switching up the count. That don't help either. So it's no advantage on offense. Really now it's a disadvantage because I know the play. I know your count always the same. And I know, shoot, you running backwards and I'm running forward. And you not only running backwards, you got to be agile. So you got to be able to absorb me and you got to be agile. And then you got to pick up my guy jumping all the way inside. He coming all around. Your team not being on the same page. You really is not in the best situation. And you say one thing about the edges. Well, I mean, edges are small, man. Y'all not realize edges are small. A lot of times the people coming off the edge, they typically outside linebackers. That's why a lot of times they call them outside linebackers. They typically coming off the edge, that who blitzing off the edge usually gonna be a nickel, sometimes even a corner. See, the edge has to have speed. The edge don't have to have size. I know if I come off the edge and you're going backwards doing this mess, and I'm agile and I'm quick, man, you finna have a long day if you got to do that to me. Now, if you got to do that a few times, you may get me a few times, but if we got to do this 20 times, I'm gonna have better than the 50% on you. And you just better hold them 50% not at the wrong time. Because I'm finna get some sacks. I'm finna disrupt some stuff. Because if that guy is coming off the edge and he got space between him, how is it an advantage for size? Unless he just gonna bull rush every time. But if he got speed and he can do this here and go to the inside, see lineman slow, they first of all, I think you should take away the inside. I watch even guys at practice with Colorado, they go inside wide open, straight to the quarterback. You should take that away. You should make him go around at the very least. But a fast guy in a slow line, he can go around, he can bend the corner, he got bend. You look at Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett's a big dude, but they always talk about how fast he is, how quick he is, how flexible he is. That's what really matters. He ain't got to have size. Size comes in when you want a bull rush, when you want to, what they say, speed, the power, and all that stuff. But if you got a mixture of moves and you going against a guy, because every lineman is not athletic like that. You want your tackles to be athletic, but you finna give him a hard day blocking a guy who's quick. You finna have a hard day, especially if you throwing the ball 70 to 80% of the time. So, a guy coming out the edge at 250, 260 at the college level, that's perfectly normal. Matter of fact, you pay attention to the pros, a lot of them 250, 260. They want that speed coming off of there. Everybody not going to be like a Myles Garrett or Julius Pepper and all those big guys. Those guys were bigger, and they tall too. And this muscular, like they look like action figures. Everybody not built like that. That's why all of them in the Hall of Fame. Everybody you name, was Allen name right there, they Hall of Famers. But everybody who line up in that position not a Hall of Famer, but they can be effective. And that's not going to be how this defense is built. I don't think. Because, if you look at the well off and you hear certain comments, like I said, they're not showing everything, but I think they're showing you what they want because they want editing. And they let Campbell say, y'all need to get out that zone. Y'all, they put that out there. Because how many years we've been to all Coach Prime do is run man. All you do is run man. They ain't running man this year. Only they already practicing zone. We did not see no zone. We complained about zone. So we know they run his zone because the boy said it. Now we can see it, but I mean, you pay attention, you probably see it. But I'm saying he's saying it. Hey, y'all get out that zone. Y'all get out that zone. Get us some man. Most teams know you're gonna run man. They gonna put something together and they gonna have these man beaters. That's all they did was Colorado was pick them underneath stuff, pick them, drag route, slants. And Colorado, Livingston was silly enough to put all the linebackers and even safeties all on the line. Nobody dropping back. They ain't got to worry about nobody dropping back underneath. They all try to get the quarterback and don't come on. You need a whole middle of the field. Who can cover a man like that? He take a slant route. It's number green grass down. The quarterback just got to make a good throw, and it's a completion all day. He can be on his hip, but if he throw the ball out in front of him, nobody there. He ain't got to worry about no linebacker coming underneath. He ain't got to worry about no window. It ain't no window. It's a whole freeway right there. So when you get out of man, it make the quarterback have to be a lot sharper and from his decision making and his ability to make the pass. Because now he gotta find windows. Now his timing gotta be right. You ain't got no doggone timing. You got the quarterback sit back. He's sitting in the pocket. He's rolling around. Nobody getting on. He waiting for people to get open. You covering somebody in man, and they just zigzagging around. Like that's backyard football. That's not fair to anybody in coverage because they covering the man for doggone 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds or longer. Then the quarterback say, Well, if all else fails, I'm just gonna run straight up the middle because all the linebackers is spilled all around me. Ain't nobody in the middle of the field. I know I can run 20 yard. Defense do a good enough job. And that's why you can't really knock the defense last. I ain't talking about Livingston per se, but I'm saying how many times did they get to 3rd and long? He says it's on them, but it is on them. It's not on them because you look at the fact. How many times did they stop teams? I ain't talking about when they actually stop them and then they go 3 and out, got to go back. That's discouraging. But how many times you get these guys in 3rd and long last? I would love to see the stats. How many times they had 3rd and long? And because of the type of scheme that their coach was running, why we even be in man in that situation when you 3rd and 20? Why be in man? That's stupid. Why be in man? You almost done in prevent, because it's like, one, you want to keep everything in front of you. And then 2, they got to make a pretty significant throw. And if they run, everybody ain't running at the line and leave a gap and nobody there behind them. You got to keep some people back. So if you do run, especially they're running, they were running. And you giving them an out by running the ball. And so these defenses do that, and you put them in a position where these boys can just go in 3rd and 20, and he get 27 yards. And over again. That's deflating. That's discouraging. That's on the coaching. Yeah, they should have got to the man. But it's a raggedy scheme. It was a raggedy scheme to be in the first place. I remember when I was at the game, I kid you not. And this 2 years ago. This ain't even last year. This one, it was good. I was at that Kansas State game when everybody got hurt. It was a night game. And I remember Shedeur brought them all the way back. People don't like to talk about that. And it was like, I don't know, man. It wasn't even 4 minutes left. It was a few minutes left on the clock. And they let Kansas State drive all the way down the field on I think it was a long run. I think it was like a wheel route or something like that. Wide open, running back wide open. He took off from the other end of the field all the way. They tackled him about around the 30. And I watched him, Livingston. Defense was stopping him. Boom, boom, because they weren't letting the quarterback run that game. Hill Green, he was doing all right. They couldn't stop their running back that game. But when they did stop him, okay, they started stopping him. Livingston put everybody on the line, including Shiloh. Now, Shiloh's safety. Right? Everybody was up on the line. I'm thinking, okay, they're going to drop back. It was cornerbacks was in man coverage. You had Hodge out there on the right side. Travis Hunter was out. And you had McKinney on the left side. And the game was on the line. It probably wasn't even but a couple minutes left at that point. Colorado was up by a touchdown, I believe. Colorado was up by, it was an odd number. So Colorado might have been up by like 6 or 3 or something like that. Right. All they had to do was don't go and prevent because they were so worried about the run, but they were stopping the run at that point. So the dude ain't really been throwing all game. He stepped back and basically threw a Hail Mary up over Hodge. First of all, Hodge shouldn't even been out there. That Hood, who was finna go in the NFL in the first round, was on that team, and he had got to pick that game. He was playing good. And why was he not on the field? He wasn't hurt. I don't know everything, but I do know why was Hood not out there. I ain't got the answer yet. Why was Hood not out there on the field and covering man? Hood, first of all, he wouldn't have burnt Hood because Hood is faster than Hodge, and he's more aggressive, and he's a better coverage. He's better man coverage, period. He was then, he is now, period. You see one going NFL, and the other one might be, get invited to camp, free agent. So that's the type of stuff I was looking at. Like, that was silly, and people start making comments about favoritism. I get it. I'm like, man, I don't know what they're doing. But when you look at, okay, he got burnt on that touchdown. Then, Shedeur tried to come back. They ran some ugly, weird plays of offense again. Ran the ball, a route short. Draylon Miller and all. They were doing like the offensive scheme was horrible. Then he threw that ball up the wheel. They said he should have got a shorter route, but he threw it up the wheel. Will got past. I mean, the boy Bobby Boucher him. Not only did he not turn around, he ran through Will Shepard's chest. They did not call the penalty. Game was over. That's on the referees. That's on the referees all day. Because every other game you seen that night and that time, it's Colorado did that. It's every flag. Flags coming out the stands. I mean, laundry galore. It's no doubt that flag's getting called, whether at home, away, on Mars. They're gonna call it on Colorado, especially in that time of the game. So they basically they would have been a first down, and we pretty certain Shedeur, because I think at that point all Colorado needed was a field goal. They didn't even need to score. All they needed was a field goal to tie the game, because they were like, you would have got Mata in field goal position, then they would have at least tied it or something like that. That's what I remember. So I look at stuff like that, like the defensive scheme wasn't conducive to winning. Like they should have been in zone at that point. They should have done it, been in prevent. They should have done and said, you're not going to throw it over our head. You're going to have to run it, and we're going to keep everything in front of us. And we're going to let y'all run this clock out trying, because they was running out of clock. It was like 2 minutes left, and they had to score. The pressure was on them. They had to go all the way down the field. They quarterback wasn't built like that. And they had finally started stopping the running game. All he had to do was focus on keeping, linebackers well in the box and make him throw the ball, but don't put him in a one-on-one situation. No safety help. It was horrible. It was horrible, and so stuff like that, you can't blame the players on. The players on the field, but you put them in position to get in a bad way. And that's what Colorado did a lot of, not just last year, the year before and the year before. Personnel not playing certain people. Again, I just named Hood. He should have been out there. Certain people should be playing, certain people not. They made a lot of errors with that. It's my hope that these new guys don't. They knew. They're not subject to that. And I'm sure Coach Prime learned his lesson. If he learned some, he should have learned them all. Get out those guys' way. Because I know even sometimes maybe Livingston wanted to make some adjustments, and Coach Prime did. And I know it was on him. But you cooperate with these people, man, and let them do their job. Now, I know you got to make the decision because it's on your head in the end, but you got to go ahead and let them do their job. They want to run cover 3, don't force them to run no man. And surely they'll mess with the go-go. No, you can't mess with the go-go. As long as these guys produce, it's all good. But going back to the spring ball, first, second, third day, what did y'all see? Now, I know guys mentioned energy and all that. Let me tell you what I see. I see a lot of energy. Coaches has got probably high energy in the players, and I think it's rubbing off. Especially these new coaches, these people you feel like, oh, they don't deserve it. Oh, the D-line coach, oh, he's sweating like a dog. He's running around. And the coaches, even some of the coaches from last year who seemed like laid back, Big Gerald. Like these guys, man, it ain't like these just bouncing just to try to amp them up. No, they serious. And the whole environment is high spark. Like, you strike a match, it's going to blow everything down. Like, the players are going at it to the point they scared. Like, all right, don't take it in the locker room. All right, y'all still teammates. Like, you didn't see that level of energy. I'm sorry. You may see a couple fights every now and then, but not a widespread. Just, you got a good mixture of some guys from some other schools who here to prove something, basically. They here to prove something. And I think they're going to be better teammates because they're going to trust each other. Because they don't been fighting each other so hard. By the time they get to the season, they're going to respect each other. See, it's hard to respect somebody. You like, I don't know. He just only because he Coach Prime favorite. Well, you've been fighting like dogs. You're going to respect each other when you go on the football field. People think it's the opposite. People think, oh, they're going to be fighting and they're not going to like each other. No, they're going to respect each other. And that's one thing that a lot of these teams that Coach Prime had, they didn't respect each other. I know he's going to make the tackle. They didn't trust each other to the point they would be doing each other's job. They'll be running to each other's linebackers. Like, respect goes a long way. And it's built on, you had to earn that respect. If you had to fight, like a lot of guys have to fight to learn to respect each other. They dog each other out till they fight. And then, all right, I got you. That's how a lot of men are. So a lot of these guys, they're going to be able to respect each other because how they had to compete and how they had to go, how I had to go down. The offense going to be able to respect the defense because they're going to be like, yeah, I know I fought against him. So I'm going to get them back. I'm going to make sure I put them in a good position and vice versa. The defense going to respect the offense. They ain't going to be looking like, oh, the offense garbage. We got to going to keep carrying them every game. They're going to have a solid respect for each other. Just let the intensity go. it's gonna serve a purpose. It's not gonna be destructive. I think destructive came when they didn't respect each other. That's when the destruction came to the team. Like, oh, the team fell apart. They didn't trust each other and they didn't respect each other. They didn't even know each other. These kids already know each other. They already going to church together. They already going out to eat together. They doing more right now than the Colorado team did the whole last season. Come on now. We got all the way down to the last couple games. Coach Prime tomorrow, tell me about him. Why are you doing it? That stuff you just remember the Titan stuff. That's what you do at camp. All right, we're gonna have 3 days until everybody, Coach Prime still trying to dig it out. He knew something. How he can even feel that way? He shouldn't even be able to feel that way at that point in the season. And you got people out there quitting. You got people out there ain't dressing out. You got people, they lost respect for each other. And they lost it early. Let's just be real. It wasn't just a quarterback battle. Because you know why you having a quarterback battle? Because nobody ain't standing out. And you look through the whole season, nobody stood out. Juju didn't stand out. Salter didn't stand out. Staub didn't stand out. And your season didn't stand out. And I think it has a lot to do with scheme. Because there's no way Salter wouldn't stand out in this go-go. Oh, the go-go make him like a pro. All day. You almost be comparing him to Jaden Daniels. You put him in his offense, you put Salter, he gonna have 1,000 yards because the thing, he's sneaky like that. He real slippery and smooth. He don't look real fast. And if you get him a scene, he gonna take it. The problem is the offense he was in last year didn't create no freaking scenes. Matter of fact, everybody figured out this line, everybody up on the line and let these other linemen figure it out. And we're gonna blitz and we're gonna pull people back and we're gonna stunt, we're gonna do all kinds of stuff to throw them off. And it ain't gonna be no lanes for Salter. And Salter, he juking people in the photo booth until it's time to throw that ball. He throwing that ball, he throwing the underhand sidearm and all. It ain't no lanes. Everybody in the box. What can you say? They knocking his ball down because everybody is in the box. Everybody lined up on the line. They either dropping back, waiting for him for these underneath routes because all the routes was short. All the routes was, little sideways hitches and screens. And so everybody came down in the box because they knew it. That's how they did Cleveland with your boy Gabriel and all them. They put everybody in the box with the understanding that 99% of the stuff going to be here. They'll throw it deep every now and then if they can because we're going to blitz the death out of them. So even if they go deep, he's not going to be able to throw the ball. And if he do, we're going to knock it down because his arm angles was horrible. So his arm angles only will work if he's able to drop way back, which it wasn't designed for him to do, or they got to back up off of him. They had no reason to back up off of him. They had nothing to see here. What they say? Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. I mean, we already know everything y'all about to do. And we already know that you ain't doing nothing that's going to make us have to have a bird's eye view. We're going to step back and read. Nothing. Ain't no motion going on. Ain't no misdirection going on. Everything is what you see, what you get. If he hand that ball like that, he going to either hand it off or he going to throw it. Either way, we coming. But this go-go is so weird. And somebody pointed out, I'm going to tell you, the go-go, they so slick with it. Marion is not a dummy. If you pay attention to all the quarterbacks, they all working on something different. Not to say that, this quarterback gonna do it, but I guess he's smart enough to say this week you working on this part, next week y'all will switch it. So when you look at, for example, Wilson, every time he line up, he got 2 running backs almost standing on top of each other. It's the weirdest, oddest looking thing. They're not even spacing. They standing like they are like almost like they Siamese twins. I would have thought they would try to space. They one standing up, one like this. I'm like, it looks really weird. And it's like, you don't know what in the world they finna do. You really don't. So Isaac Wilson line up, he's 1-2, 1-2. Then you see Sweetney, he line up with the pistol look, or he might have a running back behind him and a tight end right there. And then Juju, he going with more of a traditional look, he might have a running back on the side of him and then, spread. And so they already showing you that's like 3 different formations right there out of probably got 20 more because I've seen them have 3 running backs out there. It's like 1-1-1-1. I don't see them have 2 tight ends back there and 1 running back. So he can get real freaky with his formations. Really, there's no limit to what he can do. And then he can move them around and go in motion. It could be a tight end back there. It can be a receiver back there. He can put Campbell back there. He can put the big boy package. I like the big boy package with Henderson and Young back there. And I ain't seen Welch. I don't know where he at. I don't know if he hurt. I ain't seen no Welch. Ain't nobody talked about that. I have not seen Welch at all. Maybe he hurt. I've seen the other hurt players, but I have not seen him. Anybody seen Welch? I see 23. I'm trying to remember who he is. I don't know. He's the freshman running back they got. Has he even got there yet? But I see the 2 big running backs back there. I see 23 back there, and they all look good. And they look good because the holes are there. And the holes are there not because the defense is weak. It's because the doggone lineman actually run blocking. It's hard to run when you pass blocking. And it's hard to kind of keep people on their toes, really on their heels, when you only pass block, and then when it's run, it's almost predictable. 3rd and short, and they finna stuff you. And you're not even built for that, really. You've been tiptoeing the whole game. So it's like, you got running back, he run this way, he run around him, he go upfield, he gonna be, one of them gonna be wide open, because you got both of them on the side of the field. Once both linebackers ain't moved over there, they made a shift, but the 2 running backs right there. You know, Q for 6 was out there like a week ago. I seen Q for 6 out there. I haven't seen them like run no routes this week. It's no sense. Probably not since this week, but I have seen them. Since the first practice, I think I've seen Q for 6 out there. But because he wearing number 6. But I don't know what's going on. But I do know, you put somebody like Welch in there, he can be a different style of running back, because he low to the ground. And again, a lot like Salter, this offense will benefit somebody like Welch, because he's shorter than them. So I would like to combine a little bitty short running back like a Welch or a Track Hawk with one of those bigger running backs, because the lineman gonna be so tall, and linebackers, they're gonna see one and not see the other. And the way the mirror is moving, and one go this way, one go that way, or they both go this way and then they cross, or they both run through a hole and one end up lead blocking. With that short running back in there, it's gonna be hard to identify him. That's why you see Track Hawk, when he get the ball, it's like he shoot through that, because they can't see him. And you see one of the running back, the other one was 6'2", they big. So you see him with the other one. So the other one go underneath, boy, you're not gonna be so quick to blitz, because you're gonna be trying to make sure you see him. And that's really the job of a linebacker. You'd rather be slow than, you don't want to be overly aggressive, over pursuit, because that's when something gonna be wide open. You'd rather be a step behind than a step ahead, because it's gonna be cut back lanes galore, or somebody lineman gonna seal you, and it's to the races. That's what a lot of people don't realize about the linebacker. You one step away, somebody gonna seal you, and they'll be like, oh, they let the lineman get to the second level. He's supposed to get to the second level. Sometimes designed that way, but depending on like your approach to the ball, you can deal with that. You can take on that block. You do a lot of things, but when you out of position, and he there, he like a wall. He like the Great Wall of China. You ain't getting there. You got to go through that wall, and he's 6'8", 400 pounds. You try to run back into a wall, you better off taking him on head on than have to go back through him. Because at least head on, you use your quickness. You can kind of throw him off. You can confuse the running back. There's a lot of things you can do as linebacker, because he's trying to read the block, and you make it hard. You use your smarts and your quickness. You can make the running back basically kind of delay, because it's confusing to know where I'm going with this, where I'm going. But when you just move out the way and get sealed, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You might as well just go ahead to the sideline, because that lineman, it's the easiest block he can get. He just stand there. He just like a pick and roll. At that point, he ain't got to block you. He just got to be in the way. Because that's what you've seen a lot with Colorado. That's what you've seen with Delaware and all them teams tear them up. Them guys just, they gone. They gone. Ain't nobody back there but the safety, if he there. And then he, boom, boom, one guy to miss. So we seen some things, but we didn't see some things. I haven't seen Juju. I'm not saying he haven't done it, but they ain't showed it with the 2 running backs, behind him or on the side of them, and the same standing right on top of each other. I've seen that with Wilson. That's been his thing. Maybe Juju will do it this week or next week. He's mixing it up. So I like that. You seeing it, but you got different personnel packages. You almost trying to predict, is this quarterback going to be the run quarterback, or who going to be the quarterback? That's the best thing they could do, honestly. He say, "What that? You trust his coach too much." And then, I mean, yeah. So I think that on the defensive side, you know what I'm saying? Very aggressive DBs. And the reason why I point that out is because historically with Colorado, you know, this is Coach Prime, DB University. He got all these NFL guys. He brought in Livingston, the greatest DB. You would have thought, you know, he brought Travis Hunter immediately. He brought in your boy, what's my boy? I'm slipping. My boy down there, he had Florida, McLean, Kamani. And you know, he gonna get these top DBs every year. It's gonna be DB University. Then they get out there and they look like they have no clue. To the point Mathis is with the nickels. And he's like he's gonna do well with the nickels. But they have always struggled at DB. Coverage, they look below average coverage wise. Maybe because you got guys playing man who really not strong, man. Maybe they better off the ball. That kind of stuff do happen. You got to fit the defense you built for. Usually you want to go to a school that the scheme fits you. You want to get drafted by the team that the scheme fits you. If you stronger in this area and somebody try to use you in a way that's not your strength, it could be a problem. So the DBs that they've been having, they've been looking horrible, man. All of them, you know, up to this point. So the thing about these DBs this year, they look comfortable in man. Whether it's doing the one-on-ones or even some of the 7 on 7, but the 11 on 11 we seen when you see them get up in each other's face from time to time. They comfortable with using their hands. Ain't no coach problem. Use your hands. You know, the guys letting people off the ball, open the window, open the gate, whatever you want to say. They not looking like that from the clips that we seen. I'm not saying they don't do it, but they got better quality DBs. Let's call it what it is. I do think the swap with McKinney is worth with Notre Dame. I do think the McKinney was never a good DB, at least in man. He was bigger, but I do think that Thomas is a better DB. He's more physical, he's more aggressive. I think he's better. He's probably faster. And he's not big as McKinney. McKinney just never really was that to me. I don't know. He made some plays, but it's like he wasn't a number one DB. Like they tried to make it first round. Not that guy. Not that guy. Then you have RJ playing. He's developed. You know, I think he was hurt the first year a little bit. He's trying to get his feet up on him. And I think that competition, that room is gonna make him better. I think iron sharpens iron. So RJ's looking decent. You get them just got an Eagley. They got some options. We saw that coming in. They gonna have some options at that DB room, and they got some young DBs. They got some experienced DBs, and last year, can we just find one DB? Really, all the years, because we always had Travis Hunter. Oh, we didn't even find one, and they never could. It's like you brought Travis. Are you developing them, or what's going on? These guys, you're not gonna have that issue. If somebody go down, your quality not gonna drop. They got more guys, more like Hood, the transfers coming in, more like that, hungry and able to play than anybody else. Yeah, they say Welcher. I know they had to be hurt. But they got a lot of guys out there hurt, and that that's not good. Soft tissue stuff because you ain't got an equipment, so you hurt from running, and so that goes to a whole nother thing. When you start talking about soft tissue injuries, properly warming up, properly stretching. That's something they need to tap into real quick. You need to get an expert out there because that's gonna happen. But when you lifting like that and then you run, you're more likely to hurt something if you don't learn how to properly run. I ain't talking about just running to 40 for the combine. A lot of injuries come from not properly training on like your form, your technique. That just sometimes you can just be lifting. Get more intentional about that, not just from strength, but development wise, because you develop wrong, you more likely to hurt something. Then if you tight, you more likely to hurt something. Or if you warm up, not just stretching, but more of a kinesthetic type warm up, active warm up. A lot of people don't believe in stretching. I'm gonna be real with you. Not stretching from a standpoint of not at all, but stretching before you warm up. There's a whole lot of theories out there, but when you warm up, you want to active warm up. So I even know when I played, our warm up was active. We didn't just stretch. Like game day, you stretch, that's shenanigans, but you still do your warm-ups. In practice, we warmed up. We didn't line up and stretch. So it's a whole school with that. But I hope that they get that together because I don't remember a lot of guys getting hurt up on the mole. I mean, outside of just football injuries, getting hit, knees, stuff like that. But that's gonna be an important thing because a lot of people are like, oh, who's gonna play? Depth is gonna be important, but it's also important to know how quick you go through that depth. I know for the last couple of years, the D-line depth went like quick. Before halfway through the season for the last couple of years, you ain't had no D-line. You like, oh, don't know, pull some out of offense. The wear and tear, I don't know if they're doing too much wear and tear or I don't know what they're doing, but they get hurt a little too much, seem like. Far as like the number of people that get hurt and from major stuff like tears and pulls and ankles and I don't know what they need to do with that. Because when they get hurt in Colorado, they be hurt. They be hurt. They out the season. They out. And there's too many of them. And it'd be too many of them at the same position. So I don't know what they need to do. I don't know if that's a training thing, that's a diet thing. But I feel like as much resources as Coach Prime have, I would have all that out there. From how you work out to how they eat, all the way down to how they warm up. Like I'm talking about not just people who just know how to do drills, but who really know that, who do that. Like I went to I guess you call it a naturopathy doctor yesterday. Do stuff that you never would do at a doctor. See stuff that the doctor will never see. And so a lot of times you go to the doctor and they see stuff and they're like, oh, your blood pressure high, your this, your that high. But all they can tell you is here's some medicine. And that's jacked up. But if you go to naturopathy, they ain't even talking about all that. They can see stuff and they can say, this is how you solve it. This is the root of it. They're not going to diagnose. They're not going to try to point out, oh, that's a problem. Ooh, they ain't scared of that. They ain't scared of that. They see your cells is damaged. Okay, we're going to work on that. And this is why. Oh, and I see that. So that's probably what's causing that. You have to be more analytical and detailed to solve problems when you see issues. I hope he have that kind of people on staff, not just in the position room and the coordinator room, but all the way down to like I know they got all that good food, but I'm gonna tell y'all, like food it can be an issue. Like for example, like I said, I just went yesterday. It's points where your food could be the issue or not the issue. It could be your digestion is off, and if your digestion is off, it can throw off your whole body. So now you're talking about. Okay, I don't know if them boys out there drinking and smoking. You tell them not to do it, but you can show them. You can bring an expert in and be like, look, hey, let me look at your blood. All right. Your doggone pancreas is jacked up. And when your pancreas jacked up, your digestion jacked up. When your digestion jacked up, I don't care what you eat, what supplements we giving you, the minerals and all that is not going to your body. And then it's going to cause your organs to fail. Or if they're not performing, it's more likely to cause your performance to go down this amount percentage or cause you have an injury because your muscles are weak. They're not getting the nutrients they need. Or that you're going to get tired. It ain't just the air that's making you tired. It's your breathing and all that is off because of your diet. So yeah, we got all this good food up here and that ain't just going to solve it. It's a combination of things. It's supplements. I want to see that level because that's what you need at that level. You talking about performance. It's not this, let's come weigh you 10 pounds overweight, you 10 pounds underweight. But if you really want to get into performance, you might want to get into the details of what's behind the performance, what's behind the fatigue, what's behind the strength, what's going to limit it, what's going to increase it. It ain't just taking a supplement, protein shake. Because what if your body is not digesting the protein? See, they're getting into the deep stuff now. But it can go there. And believe me, somebody is going there. The great teams do everything like that. They do everything on a detailed level. And it'd be little stuff like that be the difference between you and them. You might not know about it. But they just got that guy who that's what he do. And you say, oh, that's him. But we ain't got that him over here. And that can be something simple that can affect how your injuries happen. That can be something as simple as affect how tired your line get, how tired your running backs get. It could be all of those things. And it can go on and on about the nuances of whatever. But I do think we're just looking at it from the big picture right now. The offense is gonna be hard to stop, man. It's gonna be hard to stop. Just the installs we've seen, and I know he got a gazillion more, and he ain't gonna install a lot of this stuff to after spring. He just getting them a taste of, you know, seeing what everybody can do, seeing how people work together, give y'all a little taste of some of the formations, but the kinky stuff, he ain't gonna show you that. We ain't gonna even see it. Some of that stuff, and some of that stuff gonna arise as the games go on. If you're smart, oh, I see that weakness. We can tweak this. It's gonna be hard to stop, y'all. I don't know. I mean, some people they so messed up emotional. Well, I don't get all emotional with this. They say, "Oh, Colorado, I don't trust them." You know, I tell you, let me tell you, they they not gonna have the same issues with the run game. They're gonna be able to run the ball. They're gonna run the ball. First of all, he said they're not running enough. And like Coach Prime said, why would we run? You be like they didn't stick to the run. You can't stick to the run when people know what you're gonna do, and you got these little weak. They knew they had them little weak plays, but when you got this go and he can do all these different things, it's gonna put people on their heels and their toes. They're gonna run the ball and they're gonna run it successfully. And you know he's got this Colorado phobia. If he was at Arizona, it would work. If he was at Utah, it will work. Even some places, even more so, because you're more confident in their tradition. But what he's doing is going to work because this scheme works. It works everywhere he's been. It's going to work here. To what degree we will see, but it's going to work. It's going to be night and day between what we've seen because it was doing it non-existent. And when that works, yeah, you're going to have better clock time management. Then that works. Yeah, it's going to not allow the other team to put up 50 points on you because every time you get the ball, you give it back to them, they score, and then you give it back to them, they score, like you seen with Oregon that first year. So that don't happen when you hold on to the ball. They can't. They at best they can get 30 points because just time doesn't allow it. It don't matter how much you score, you holding on to that ball, they can't score that much. So it's like these big comebacks or them just getting away from you, it ain't happening because they holding on to that ball. And when you add the fact that he's scoring 30, 35 plus, then that puts more pressure on the other teams than on your defense. Well, then I go to defense. Now you got a defense who's not going to be giving up big plays because they ain't running man every time, and they ain't going to have tackling issues because they got real linebackers and they got more aggressive DBs. You're not looking at the same teams. What I'm telling you guys. I don't said it before, and now you had to wait to see it, and you still don't see it. I guess you want to wait till the season. That's an untrained eye. I gotta wait and see. You're looking at it. Was you not looking at what last year looked like compared to now? It's night and day. You say the point. You say, oh, the line big. They don't. If you run the go, you probably don't even want big linemen because they but finna be running. They can't be tired. But speaking of big, I want to ask y'all, who in the world is that? What, number 57? Did y'all? That's the biggest lineman I've ever seen. Because I saw Colorado got some big linemen. So I don't know what y'all talking about. They look like them little white jerseys. Them some big old linemen. This the biggest lineman by far they got. All them guys big. They big. But one guy stood over everybody. He looked like the guy off of what is that? The Longest Yard. Remember they when they got that killer out of the solitary confinement, and he just kicked the guy down. He was huge. They got a guy there. He got to be about that big. Number 57, I think. Good God Almighty. He was standing over the biggest lineman. I've never seen no lineman that big at the college level. I don't know. Y'all probably ain't paying attention. I watched Will off the other day when it was all cute when what's called was doing all that. Perry was doing all that before. And the linemen, you saw these big linemen. Those some big linemen. Then one lineman came, he was like way over everybody. I was like, good God Almighty, what kind of lineman is that? And then I seen a couple plays he was in, and he still looked big. He was playing left tackle. He was playing. I hope he an MMA fighter, and he ain't got happy feet. I one time I want him to. He kind of didn't want to move to the right a little bit, and he just kind of pushed the guy. He's so long. If he really know how big he is, he dangerous. He should be the left tackle because all he got to do is take away the inside. He's so big and he's so long. He ain't got to panic when they do all this and try to go outside. He's so long. He ain't got to do nothing but just step a little bit. And his arms is long enough. By the time you go around them long arms, you're going to be in the other end zone. he just got to have decent feet. He's so big and so long. He can take one step and cover way more ground than the average lineman. He ain't gotta overstep out here and throw the inside. That's why I'm like, dude, you know how big you are. Just keep the inside so nobody have an instant path to the QB. Make them go around. You take one step. They gotta go. They ain't gonna go through him. I'm gonna tell you that. The dude gotta be at least 320, 330. Is that Bell? Good God, I don't know. The dude gotta be at least 6'8". He gotta be at least 6'8". Whoever that is, he gotta be at least 6'8". And if that's Bell, then that's Bell. He gotta be at least 6'8". And he lean and he big. And I was like, boy, if they teach him how to play, he way bigger than Jordan Seaton. Jordan Seaton is a little more wild, and this dude here is all he got to do is take. He ain't got to do all that. He ain't got to do all that kick step stuff. All he got to do is, and you ain't finna go around him because his arms is like a mile long. Yeah, 6'8", 330, just like I just said. See, I don't even know the guy. I know what. See, there y'all know y'all looking at that. I just say he gonna be. I say he got to be about 330, 6'8". I just gave the numbers exactly just for eye test. That's why I can eye test this stuff. That's a proven fact. This dude, I see at least 6'8", and probably I knew he won about 320 because his height. I think he got about 330. He looked every bit of 6'8", 330. If you know what 6'8", 330 looked like. Because the guys he was standing next to, you can tell they were about 6'5", maybe 6'6". And I'm sitting here like, what kind of, I know that's tall. I'm looking at him stand by. I'm looking at the receiver, and then this guy way taller than him. Then this guy way taller than him. I'm like, what kind of tall? That's a different kind of tall right there. That ain't regular tall right there. That's the different kind of tall. That's a big lineman there. And if they let him go get psyched out, he just realized, man, what you moving for? You ain't got to panic. Because they want you to do all that so they can go back inside. You just let this fool know you only going outside and you not finna go through him. An edge rusher not finna go through him. A tackle may try to go through him, but ain't no edge rushers 330. That's why I was telling y'all, it's my edge rusher small. These edge rushers ain't finna be that big. The edge rushers that they going against is gonna be quick guys. They gonna be 230, sometimes smaller, coming off that edge trying to do this crap, man, run around you. And you looking like Lurch and you falling all over. I'm gonna tell you about this. That's Le'Veon Bell. He looked like an athlete, but he big old feet. All he got to do is say, look here, I ain't even got to step back, but a step and a half, and I can cover this whole field. 1, 2, where you gonna go? If you go around me, you're gonna be a mile up the road. You're gonna be up on 285 somewhere. We on 20. He don't even have to move. He ain't got to do all these big steps back. That's how big he is. He ain't got to lay the middle and let somebody loop over here because he's chasing after the guy out there. He can say, go on out there because you ain't finna go. His arms is about a mile long. His arms are so doggone long. His feet so doggone long. He ain't. If you try to go around him, you automatically out the play. Go back and look at it well off. He in there. If he realized that, he's a first-round draft pick easy in the NFL draft. I guarantee it. If he realizes I ain't got to do all that silly crap and be silly and chase after this dude so they can loop, so that's what they want. They're going to run out here and you don't know, and they're going to doggone stunt, and that the doggone nose going to wrap around and the tackle going to go inside, and he going to run right there where because you chasing him. You stay on the inside. You can go on out there if you want to, but it's going to be a long ride. It's going to be a long ride. And he got that doggone Stretch Armstrong. He's like, dude got to realize that. I have never seen a lineman that big. I've never seen a lineman that big. Huge. So they got stuff like that going on. They got these little linemen. Man, there's not no little team. You almost don't know what little look like. Matter of fact, when I went out there to Colorado 2 years ago, the people you think little ain't even little. I'm every bit 6'2.5" plus. Depending on the day. And I got to stand up straight and get a chiropractor and all that. I used to think I was supposed to be 6'3". I was one of those big DBs. They talking 6'2". That was back in the day. They used to like the little DBs. Now they like the big DBs. And then I was in that era where I was a hybrid. I was bigger than the average DB, and they didn't know what to do. And then I was just like today, I was big for a DB and I was small for a linebacker. Now I'm the linebacker size. Now they like linebackers at 220, 230. Back in the day, the linebacker was 250. Now the linebackers is the edge rushers. I told y'all this. The edge rushers now, y'all say they too small. They used to be the linebackers, like Ray Lewis and all them boys, and Urlacher and all them. They would have been the edge rushers. This time, they would have been edge rushers because they were big. But this team here, man, they got all they need. They got all the trimmings. If they just stay healthy, I believe they're gonna play together because they're gonna trust each other more than any team we don't see. Because they're gonna fight until they learn to respect each other. They're gonna earn each other respect. They're gonna be fighting. And then once you fight somebody and they stood down, he ain't scared. I know he ain't scared by the way we be fighting. Oh, that's your best friend now. Because you respect them. That's how men work. Respect. If he a chump and you slap him all around, man, he a chump, man. I don't respect him. They disrespect you. But the way they be slamming each other out there, the way Perry going at it with Boo, they're gonna be really good, man. Y'all don't get it. They're gonna be really good. These are two of your best players. Boo Carter is gonna be better because he's going up against a Perry. Because there ain't too many guys gonna have the footwork Perry got. I'm sorry. They may be bigger. I don't know, they may be even faster. But in the slot, you covering the Cam Perry, the way he moved, if I can cover this dude, I can cover at least 95% of anybody I play. I don't care if they the SEC, ACC, I don't what see they got behind. I'm gonna be able to cover him. His confidence is gonna be high because I have to cover this guy every day. He talking crazy and he ain't playing. He ain't out here like, man, let's have fun. He out there trying to whoop me, and I'm trying to whoop him. So I get to be physical with him. He a little small guy. I get to physical with him. He gonna be ready for a DB who want to be physical because both of them guys going to the NFL. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Both of them guys going to the NFL just matter what. Boo Carter, if he have a good year, he gonna be like Hood. Boo Carter gonna be a guy who has the potential to go in the first round, if not second. Depending on the type of year he have. These are NFL guys going against each other. And they letting everybody else know, they going at it, we're gonna go at it too. Because these are the better guys. These ain't the best guys sitting around like, they the role models. These are the better guys on the team barking. So now you see everybody barking. The water boy barking. Everybody barking. Everybody shut up. You must ain't never been on a team like that. I'm gonna tell you that is a sign of a winning team for the people who just think I'm gonna watch somebody channel and repeat it. I'm telling you, I've been on winning teams. I've been on losing teams. Losing teams, everybody nonchalant, telling jokes. Nobody really want to step up. You lose, it's negative, it's finger pointing. That's a losing team. That's what you saw last year. Winning teams, everybody, you think they ain't even friends. They be out there fighting. They be best friends in the locker room, hang out with each other. But it's the unspoken rule. We got in the field, we just gonna go acting crazy. We just they be fighting and all, but they be friends. Are they gonna become friends? Because you're gonna become friends because you're gonna respect him. He ain't no chump, and that's how men work. You're gonna become best friends. But when you get out on that field, it becomes a culture. It's aggressive. Everybody's out here aggressive. Boom, boom. It's not personal. It becomes second nature to be aggressive. And so when you go in a game, it ain't nobody got to pump you up because it's like your mind is wired. When I step out on the field, it just clicks. Bloop. It's like they say, what do you call them? They say they kind of off, throw it off or whatever. It's like when they put that helmet on, it's like something else click. Bloop, you automatically go into this mode. Then you take it off, and then that mess cut off. You go in the locker room, and you just be nonchalant and telling jokes, rapping. You ain't even thinking about it because it's a switch. And so that's why he say practice hard because it's almost like you program yourself. When I put these shoulder pads on, it's like you go into another mode. And then when you take it off, you just go back to your regular self. You see these great football players, they be like, he's just so quiet and so nice of a person. But when you put the helmet on, he become an animal. That's how, when you practice, you training yourself to be that way. You train yourself that when I put these shoulder pads on, It's like you get a gun. It's like when you go to war. You ain't the same guy when you out there as when you in the barracks. You ain't like you gotta cut that mess off because you gotta maintain it. You know what I'm saying? It can't be just like then you crazy then when you everywhere you nah, that fool crazy. But for you to be high, he said go hard for an hour, you able to do that because when you there, you there. And when you done, you can turn it off, relax, go get in the doggone hot tub, laugh, joke, let off some steam. Then that's how football works. It's the only sport you really do that. I mean, baseball not really like that. Football not really like that. I mean, basketball not really like that. Football is different, man. So that's why the programming, the training is important. Because if you can't do that, if you take your off-field personality onto that football field, it just don't mix well as a team because it's a team sport. Now, you can go do that mess on your own, get your butt whooped, like on a wrestling mat or something like that, one-on-one. You can do that, and it might work for you. Like Travis Hunter can tell jokes. Everybody can't do that. But as a team sport, aggression is like it's a neutral language. It translates well. Everybody speak aggression well on the football field. Everybody can speak that language. And we all can be aggressive. We all can be silly. And it worked because you can be silly and it throw you off. And he can be silly and it help him get focused. But aggression, being aggressive, that's the common language for football. And we see the aggression. We see it. So with that, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and close this thing. I appreciate y'all coming through in the chat. I see Don coming through. Y'all appreciate everybody. Make sure you like. If you haven't, with 7 people, everybody just pick that like as we close out. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up, like, love, all that good stuff. These numbers should be flying up. It should be like 30 because everybody done been through here. I know everybody ain't hit a like. You got to find some of your like. Hit a like from the number of people in there. Like, appreciate it. If you're here watching replay, same thing. Like, share, subscribe. Greg said it. Appreciate y'all coming through. Y'all have a great and rest of your Sunday.